And we are back. Ranking all 31 first round picks going in order from first to last. Well, from first overall to 31st overall. If you haven't seen my Packers one, you should go ahead and watch that. It's the video before this one. And yeah, starting out at number 1, the Carolina Panthers took quarterback Bryce Young out of Alabama. I'm going to be plain and simple, 10 out of 10. You can't do much better with a pick like this. In my personal opinion, you could have gone Stroud or Bryce Young and you would have got a 10 out of 10. And, you did. So, you didn't mess it up by taking Will Levis. So, 10 out of 10. 2, CJ Stroud to the Texans. Once again, 10 out of 10. I think Bryce Young and CJ Stroud were 1 and 2. It doesn't really matter. It's more of your preference on who goes first. And you made the right pick. So this is a 10 out of 10. At number 3, we have Will Anderson Jr., edge out of Alabama. I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. Texans trade up, losing their first round pick next year in order to get Will Anderson, who in my opinion was the best defensive player in the draft at least. I feel like this was a very good pick. My only concern is if he doesn't work out, you lost a first round pick for nothing. But, we're looking minimum 3 years down the road to see if he works out, unless if, off the field issues happen. At number 4, we have Anthony Richardson to the Colts. In my opinion, this is a 9 out of 10. I think this is a very good pick. I think this is the right pick. I think you should have gotten Anthony Richardson instead of a guy like Will Levis who fell out of the first round completely. And I think this is very good. My only concern is I do not think he's going to work out if he is a day one starter. And with the Colts, I don't have Matt Ryan anymore, so I don't know who is going to start. I think you need to let him sit a year. I don't feel like he's going to, have as good of a start compared to Bryce Young and CJ Stroud if he just gets thrown in there. Yeah, he's probably in the best scenario between all the first round rookie QBs, but that's just not what I would have done is if you throw him, into the starting role immediately. At number 5, the Seahawks took Devin Witherspoon, cornerback out of Illinois. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's a good pick, don't get me wrong, but you already have some pretty solid corners in Kobe Bryant and Tariq Woolen. I don't understand the pick here. I felt like the smart pick would have been a guy like Jalen Carter. Even if it's not as big of a need, it's, just the best value pick. It's still a great pick, don't get me wrong, but I feel like he's going to work out amazing in your system, which is all that really matters. But in terms of value, it's a very iffy pick. At number 6, Paris Johnson Jr. To the Cardinals. This is a 9.5 out of 10. Getting protection for Kyler Murray. You trade back to 12 and then move back up to 6 to still get what seems like the guy you wanted. So that is just a win right there. Protecting Kyler Murray when he does get back. I don't know who would be the starter for first half of the year because I doubt Kyler Murray is going to play. But yeah, this is a great pick. At number 7, Raiders take Tyree Wilson, edge out of Texas Tech. This is a 10 out of 10. It fills a position need of edge. You can argue have a guy like Chandler Jones, but he didn't have a great year last year, and he's old. So, you have his replacement. You're letting his foot heal more if it needs to. And ultimately, I think without a broken foot, he goes way higher in the draft. So this is just a great pick by the Raiders. At number 8, the Falcons take Bijan Robinson, running back out of Texas. This one's a 5. He's a great player. Very good. This is one of the best running back prospects coming out of college I've ever seen. Do I think he deserves to be a top 10 pick? Yes. Do I think he should be a top 10 pick to the Falcons, who have Tyler Algier? I struggle pronouncing that name. And Cordell Patterson? No. I don't. But the Falcons made the pick. Clearly, they see something special. Maybe they're going best available here, which Jalen Carter is on the board, so I don't know if I'd say best available. Ignore that Snapchat notification. And yeah, at number 9, the Eagles, they take Jalen Carter, defensive tackle out of Georgia. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. You cannot have a better pick if you're the Eagles in this spot. You're pairing him up with some former college teammates to maybe, link up some chemistry. You drafted Nolan Smith later, who also went to Georgia, so we'll talk about that later, at pick 30. But you have Nakobe Dean as one of them. Some others, I can't think of them. Anyway, they have a lot of Georgia players. I know who did they draft? They drafted one in the first last year, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Darnell Wright at number 10 to the Bears. I'm going to say an 8. Personally, I would have gone Peter Skoronski, but you got the position right. You're protecting your probably franchise quarterback in Justin Fields by getting him a nice big body offensive lineman to, negate him having to scramble all the time, even though that's why he's so good. So 8 out of 10. Number 11, the Titans take Peter Skoronski. I think this is also an 8 out of 10. I think this is a great pick. I feel like there was better value. I think you could have taken a wide receiver, maybe a corner. But this is a good pick. You get to protect Ryan Tannehill for probably the 1 year he's going to be there. And then Malik Willis or Will Levis, whatever one ends up starting for you guys as well. I think this is a great pick, just kind of bolstering that offensive line, so when these young quarterbacks do get their time to shine, they will have a good offensive line. At number 12, we have the Lions taking Jahmyr Gibbs. 3 out of 10. At the time, you have DeAndre Swift. He now is an Eagle. I believe he also went to Georgia, so just adding more Georgia players. Traded him for a 4th-round pick. And you have David Montgomery. He's getting paid, 3 year, 18 mil, so like 6 a year, I think that contract is. I don't understand this. Clearly, you see something special in him, but I think with the positional value, I don't understand it. There are a few other positions you're probably going to go on. Maybe cornerback, since you just lost Jeff Okudah. Maybe a third receiver who can kind of learn behind Marvin Jones for a year. Maybe a tight end. But yeah, that's the pick you went, and it's fine. At 13, we had the Packers taking Lucas Van Ness. I'd say this is a 7.5. This is exactly who I would have gone if Jackson Smith-Njigba wasn't on the board. But outside of that, nearly the perfect pick. The only thing that drops it down so much is the fact that Jackson Smith-Njigba was on the board, and the fact that I felt like there were more needs, but I felt like, you couldn't really address them. Like safety, I personally would not have taken Brian Branch at 13. Number 14, Steelers take Broderick Jones. 10 out of 10. Protect your franchise quarterback in Kenny Pickett. That's literally all that needs to be said. Get him some protection. You do not want him to end up, constantly injured, constantly running for his life, and then him succeeding with another team because you guys fail to, address his needs. Number 15, the Jets take Will McDonald, the fourth edge out of, I believe, Iowa State. 5 out of 10. This is a good pick. This is exactly the position I would have gone with if I was the Jets. The only issue is who you took. Will McDonald, the fourth, he, in my opinion, was a second-round pick. And you took him in the first half of the first. Now, granted, this could be like Jahmyr Gibbs, where you see something in this player, specifically this player, that makes you think, oh, I'm willing to reach on this player even if it's not the best player available at the moment. And that's fine. But just know, 5 out of 10 because of that. Emmanuel Forbes at 16 to the Commanders. 5 out of 10. Same exact thing with the Jets. Exact same position I would have gone with. Would have gone cornerback if I'm the Commanders. The issue is Christian Gonzalez goes a pick after. In my opinion, Christian Gonzalez is the best corner in this draft. I don't understand why you chose Emmanuel Forbes, who I don't even think should have been a first rounder. I think there were so many players better than him at his position. I think he's probably a mid-late second round pick, early third. But, you made the picks. Like I said, you might see something. 17, Christian Gonzalez to the Patriots, 10 out of 10. Exactly what I would have done. You trade back from 14 to 17 and still get the guy I probably would have taken at 14 for you guys. 10 out of 10. At number 18, Lions once again reaching. Jack Campbell, linebacker. Clemson. No, not Clemson. That's Trenton Simpson. Maybe he is Clemson. Who knows? 6 out of 10. It's a fine position. I think that's probably a good position to draft. The issue is I don't think there was really a first-round linebacker. And with the Lions, I personally feel like you have more needs than to just kind of draft the guys who are best at their position. But, like I said, you could see something special in this guy that I don't see. I see him being good. I just don't see him being pick 18 good. Ooh, there's a lot of people typing in this group chat right now. This is why I need to put do not disturb on when I record. I forget sometimes. Anyway, 19, Kalijah Kancey, defensive tackle. Perfect pick. Perfect pick. 10 out of 10. Bolstering that defense. That defense was what carried you, in my opinion, last season. I think it's only going to get better. You lose some key guys, you're trying to address that need. I like it. At number 20, Jackson Smith-Njigba, 10 out of 10. Actually, 9.5. I feel like there was probably a better position you could have gone. But 9.5 because of the value. You do not get to draft someone that good at number 20. And you did. 9.5. Number 21, Quentin Johnston. 10 out of 10. Exactly who I would have gone with. I would have gone JSN if he was still available, but he wasn't. And I feel like Quentin Johnston is the perfect receiver for the Chargers. 10 out of 10 pick. 22, Zay Flowers. 8.5. Going a pick later is Jordan Addison. I would have probably gone Jordan Addison if I was the Ravens. Zay Flowers is very hyped up. I personally don't see it. I think he's probably an early second round guy, but don't get me wrong. This is still a very good pick. 8.5. I feel like it's a fair grade. I just feel like this is the right position. You should have gone a different player. Jordan Addison, 10 out of 10. In my personal opinion, second best receiver in this class behind Jackson Smith-Njigba. You get him at 23, and 2 receivers go before him. Or 3. But, 2 players I would have, not taken over Jordan Addison. Unless if I was the Chargers, because, Quentin Johnston, I feel like is the perfect fit there. So that one makes sense. You just got your guy. 10 out of 10. You lose Adam Thielen. You replace him very well. And yes. Number 23, Deonte Banks. 10 out of 10. This is exactly who I would have gone with. And you did. You nailed this pick. I'm shocked Deonte Banks fell this far. I believe I had him going, 16 to the Commanders, and he goes to 24 to a division rival compared to Commanders? 10 out of 10. 25, Dalton Kincaid, 5.5 out of 10. I don't see it. I think he's going to be a great tight end. Don't get me wrong. But you have Dawson Knox. I don't see it. I would have preferred you guys probably try and bolster up that O-line. Maybe Antoine Harrison, who only went a few picks later to the Jaguars. But you didn't. You're just getting Josh Allen, another weapon, but it doesn't really matter if the run game's not working, so they're just predicting pass every time. And, they bring blitzes. Number 26, Mozzie Smith, defensive tackle. 6. I don't see it. I thought he was a late second rounder. I really don't see this. The issue with the Cowboys are they have such a good roster. I don't know what they should have drafted. So it doesn't really matter who they pick because they have such a good roster. It doesn't matter because they could really pick anyone and it wouldn't be considered a bad pick. Maybe O-line, I thought they would really be a candidate to trade back and try and get O'Cyrus Torrence. But they didn't. So, 6 out of 10. 27, Antoine Harrison, 9 out of 10. Great pick. Getting Trevor Lawrence some protection. Your franchise quarterback, hopefully. I really like this pick. I feel like you could have maybe gone somewhere else. With maybe a corner, but I feel like you had a great pick here. 28, Myles Murphy to the Bengals, edge, 9 out of 10. Again, very good pick. This may not be as big of a need as people think it, or as this pick may think, because you got Sam Hubbard, Trey Hendrickson. But I feel like this pick is specifically value-wise. Myles Murphy is a great player. I think he's going to be great, and the fact that you snag a guy like this at 28 just makes it even better. 29, Brian Bresee to the Saints, 10 out of 10. I don't think Brian Bresee should have fallen this far, and the fact that he did makes it such a good pick, and it's a need. 10 out of 10. And the Saints have a lot of issues, so it didn't really matter where they go as long as they addressed one of those issues, and they did. Number 30, Nolan Smith, edge out of Georgia, 10 out of 10. A great player. This is a good pick to kind of bolster that defense a bit more. And once again, you're pairing all these college teammates together who already have good chemistry to make it even better, and it's specifically defense. So they're going to be good because it's not like, you're pairing two guys who went to the same college, one on offense, one on defense. No, you're pairing the two together on defense. Same side of the football, 10 out of 10. And finally, Felix Anudike-Uzomah. I think edge, I want to say it was Kansas State he was. 10 out of 10. Like I said, with a team like the Cowboys, the Chiefs don't have many holes. And this is a great pick. They lost Frank Clark, I believe, and this is a good replacement. I think this is a 10 out of 10 pick. I think he is going to be a great guy. I don't remember where I had him going. He was either a late first or early second. So this is right around where I would have taken him. And, this is a great pick. That's going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. I will see you guys next time with Bears franchise, which will be tomorrow. And then after that, I don't know. Because with Bears franchise now, it's kind of one loss and the season's over. So, if, we win in Bears franchise on Thursday, then we'll have another one out on Friday. And if we lose, we'll probably have our off-season streams be Friday and Saturday. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed. And let me know what you thought about these picks. If I am ranking them too harshly or am too overconfident with them. All right, goodbye.